Thank you to...
D14857.
Well, we'll get you a branch. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Oh, there's plenty of available branches on this side. Oh yeah. That is how it's done, my friends. What is poppin' home dogs? My camera's still laggy, but hey, I still got a face cam. Beautiful. Alright, so today we're going to be continuing with the story. I've decided to leave the diary alone because it seems like we're already very familiar with this guy. Like, there's something too wrong with him. Most people were fiercely protective of the diaries and given professors penchant for dangerous experiments, in some of which I was an unwitting test subject. I decided it was best I left the diary alone. Teacher, my linguistics processing unit might be damaged. I am unable to understand Professor Soul. I swallowed a laugh, knowing I had to gain control of this conversation. Somehow, Soul, I interrupted. That's my guy's voice. What's this got to do with the sun? Why did you call me? She called you. At least makes sense because she called you to say like, hey, there's an issue going on. But I guess this one. Soul paused for a moment, then looked at me, excited. Yes, the sun. It all comes back to the sun. People have a right to. A glint caught my eye from the top of the stairs. I instinctively stepped back. Ooh, spicy. Bang! Soul cried out, then slumped to the floor. Professor! I leaped to his side and fluttered my hands over his chest, despite to stop the bleeding, but not wanting to hurt my friend. Hands shaking, I glanced back at the top of the stairs and spotted a shadowy figure ring off. Oh, thank God, I thought he shot himself. A gurgling sound made me turn my head back to Soul. He looked like he was trying to tell me something. Whoa. We'll focus on trying to stop the bleeding, because then if we get the bleeding to stop, he can tell us what he wants to say. And if we can't, he can probably say it if we can figure it out. Don't speak, Professor. I'm going to apply a bit of pressure, okay? My voice shook as I spoke. I was never much good at anatomy and that word in high school, but I knew what the chances were that he'd survive. He was still. Soul? No! No! Oh! Should have listened to what he was saying. Oh my God. Damn it. Silently cursing, I was about to pull my trembling hands away from the chest when I felt something under the professor's lab coat, steadying my hand. I reached and pulled it out of his pocket. It was a card sleeve containing a printed bus ticket, emblazoned on the with the red and white coyote logo of the long distance bus company. Itinerary scans and stored. Travel destination, Flying Falls. Whoa, what happened? Okay. A single thought broke through my shock. The murderer was getting away. Not having any time to think, I pushed the ticket into my pocket, ran over to Sol's working desk and pulled open the top drawer, knowing what I'd find inside. The professor's revolver. It was a small gun at 8 inches in length, and it was made of sturdy stainless steel. I glanced over at Sol's lifeless body one last time. I'm sorry, Professor, I whispered. I snatched up the revolver and leaped up the stairs. The murderer couldn't have gone very far without the adrenaline pumping through my veins. I could see the door swinging wide open from the attacker's intrusion. Okay, we're back. No. So not carefully approached it. Raising the gun, I kept my form low and moved towards the front door, ensuring I always had the option to duck behind something solid. Once I was next to the door, I pressed my back against the wall and carefully pushed the door open wider. I leaned out a little and scanned through the opening. No one was outside. Releasing my hard breath, I quickly stepped through the door and into the better quality of the street, hoping that I hadn't lost his trail. If it's snowing, then you'll be able to find him because it's like 35 degrees. So you might be able to just like follow the foot tracks, and it doesn't seem like it's that busy of a city. It's not like New York. Teacher, there are fresh footprints leading to the left. Thanks, Moody, I said and followed the trail, my boots sinking into the snow with each heavy step. Desperately, I scanned the street for anyone suspicious. The street was completely bare. It looked like my ruck had run out when suddenly, there, someone was getting onto the bus. That could be them. Before I could go after them, I noticed someone else slipping into a nearby alley. One or the other. It couldn't be both of them. I don't know. This got real all of a sudden. Before it was like, who should I go do errands with? Now it's like life and death. Death. Chase the person down the alley. It's a 50-50 chance either way. The shadowy figure disappeared down the alley, and I crunched through the fallen snow in hot pursuit, skidding around the corner. My feet pounded the concrete. There, a tall person wearing an overcoat and hat was running down the alley. They were too far away. I had to get their attention, or they'd escape. Stop, or I'll shoot. Be right back. Thanks for getting this far. You ran out of tickets, so we gave you some more. You can watch ads for more. You can buy the story for unlimited access. Stop, or I'll shoot. It didn't work, not even a little. The person continued running at a surprising speed over the snow. I think it is him, or the guy that got on the bus was part of it, and just confused. Cursing under my breath, I pointed the revolver at the figure, my hands shaking. Just after the attacker. I lowered the gun and continued my pursuit on foot. I followed them into the alley, and I saw that the person had stopped in their tracks. They stared at me, and I couldn't help but gasp. Most of their face was hidden by their scarf, but I could see their eyes staring into my own. They glinted open in the light. Unsettling. The person gave a muffled chuckle. Then they turned and ran, scrambling over the fence. Hey, stop! Realizing I was losing my one lead, I continued to chase after them, only to stop at the fence. Come over the fence. Can't be that high. I braced myself, then took a running leap over the fence. I made a good start and began to easily climb the wire when I misplaced a foot and slid on the slick diamond mesh. There was too much ice. I barely managed to keep my balance as I hugged the fence. Keep climbing. After taking a deep breath, I continued pulling myself up the fence with my arms, trying to keep as much of the weight off my feet as possible. The ice had made the wire footholds unreliable. When I finally reached the top, I swung my one leg over, but before I could swing my other leg over, I slipped again. Only this time, my hand slipped, and I fell helplessly over the other side of the fence. The last thing I remembered was the snow-covered concrete rushing towards my face. I opened my eyes and stared up at the cloudy sky. I was on my back, with snow in my clothes and hair. Teacher, are you okay? Well, I guess we're going to find out in the next episode of Choices. But this episode was very exciting, I must say. But I guess we'll find out what happens next in the next episode. So, peace out, home dogs.